What's up, y'all? I'm out here at the range, as you can see behind me, on what started out a nice blue sunny sky. And right now I got a big old cloud overhead, as you can see, passing through. I don't really mind it too much though, because it kind of blocks out that hot sun, as long as it don't get me wet out here. Because I've got a couple more interesting tests planned for out here today, and this one right here is another 45 ACP. So we got the good old jelly contraption, of course, with a couple of chronos and 2 blocks of gel. I've done 1 test so far in these, so we got some tracks back here in the back. Had a couple of them sneak through here, so we got a little bit of mess up in this one, but should have plenty of room to get this one here done. I'm using a heavy clothing barrier, of course. It's got the layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And for this one here, we keeping the hunt for some good 45 ACP going. Y'all know I just tested the Syntech Federal. That stuff was an absolute fail in both barrel lengths, so we're taking it back to some good old conventional type stuff. So what I got here, as you can see, is the Winchester Silvertip in 45 ACP, 185 grain. There you can see the cartridge, brass case with that plated silver projectile. Now I believe the cases on all the Silvertips used to be silver, but you know how that goes nowadays. They got all kind of excuses for that not happening. It is a nice looking projectile here though, nice wide cavity and some good looking skives all the way around it. So I'm hoping for some good performance out of this. Ballistics on the box for this one is saying 1,000 feet per second at the muzzle. Now I looked on their website and I couldn't find any information as far as test barrel length, but we got a couple of them again here today. For the shorty, again, we've got the G30 with the 3.8 inch barrel, and then we got a full size Rock Island with the 5 inch barrel. So hopefully this is going to be a pretty good one. The Silvertips in most calibers I've tested have done pretty well. Some of them not so much, mostly in the what I call problem calibers, which 45 ACP, in my opinion, from a short barrel is one of those problem calibers, but hopefully this will be different. So let me get us all set up and let's see if this silver should be loaded up or turned into forks and spoons. All right, let's see what kind of numbers we can get from these big silver nuggets. I'm gonna do a 5-round average from each barrel length, starting with this G30 first. Now remember, if y'all are not familiar with this lab radar, like I always mention, you're gonna get multiple velocity readings. Your large number is at the muzzle, then you've got 5 across the bottom. The first one is at 3 yards, which is roughly where the gel is here at 10 feet. And then you've got 10, 15, 25, and 50 yards. Now remember, the box is claiming 1,000 on this right here, and they didn't list the test barrel. I'm assuming 5 inch or better, so I don't really expect it here. Only thing I just hope that we don't get way down into the 8s with this, because then I'm gonna be a little bit worried. Let's see what happens here. 982. I was gonna say this stuff sounds a little rowdy. 955, 959, 974. And 977, so that right there is not doggone bad at all for this little old short barrel. Let's see what the average was. All right, so our 5-round average that time was 969 feet per second, extreme spread of 27 with a standard deviation of 11.7. So nice and consistent stuff, especially being out of this short barrel for a 45 ACP. That's really nice right there. 959 or 969, I think that's gonna do really good in the gel. Well, let me get this stuff reset and let's see what the longer barrel does. All right, let's see what the 5 inch Rock Island does for it. I don't have any doubt we're gonna see the 1,000 and then some off of this right here. $1,037, $1,040, $1,034, $1,033, and 1,031. So I'm really liking seeing the numbers so far today. Let's check the average on that. All right, y'all, some really nice numbers right here. Our 5-round average that time was 1,035 feet per second, so it exceeded the 1,000 they said on the box. We had an extreme spread of 9 with a standard deviation of 3.4. So very, very nice, consistent stuff out of both of these barrel lengths so far. And this is new production, just in case anybody's wondering. I just got this stuff about 3 weeks ago, so new production. Very, very glad to see this right here after some of the other stuff I've tested recently. So 1,035 here, and if you remember on the G30, it was 969. So you're talking about 66 feet per second faster with the extra barrel length there, which makes perfect sense for that much more barrel length, not a whole lot, and being a 45 ACP. So these numbers right here so far are looking right in line with how I think they should be. I think both of these are going to do a nice job in the gel, but let's get this stuff set up. Y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's fine dining jelly time. I'm gonna put one through each barrel length into the gel, starting with this G30 first. After seeing those numbers, I got a feeling these are gonna do well. I hope they do anyway, because we need some more good short barrel 45 ACP. All right, that should have been a good one right there. Let me go check it out. All right, y'all, that is some good looking stuff right there, buddy. Very, very happy with what I'm seeing down there, and that's out of the short G30. So everybody's always asked me about shorter barrel 45 ACP stuff. I believe we just found another good one. Well, let's see what the 5-inch does for it here. All right, that should have been another good one. Let's go check these things out. All right, y'all, I should have known things were going way too smooth today. That one right there didn't expand at all through the longer barrel. Now, I've seen that before, so it just is what it is. Maybe this stuff just ain't that consistent because it was up to speed. It was faster than the one out of the shorter barrel. That being said, y'all see, I'm gonna send another one to see what happens here. I hate that because this stuff was looking really, really good. I don't know what that's all about. All right, should be good right there. Let me go see what happened with it. All right, y'all, we definitely got some shenanigans going on with this stuff right here. That one did the exact same thing. No expansion, went almost the exact same distance. So, you know, I got to send another one through the G30 just to see if that first one was a fluke, but I just find that so hard to believe. I mean, that thing is incredibly nicely expanded down there. Let's see what happens. I hope I didn't get into another track right there. Let me go see what happened. All right, it did actually get into another track down there. That being said, oddly enough, it's partially expanded and probably not fully just because it got into that other track. So this is the weirdest thing. I was trying to be stingy and keep it over to the left and make room for one more test, but I think the hopes of another test for today have been dashed by this stuff. So I'm gonna put one more through the G30. I'm just gonna move it on over to the right. All right, that's exactly where I wanted to put it the first time. Let me go see what happened. All right, let's check out this crazy stuff we got down here, y'all. It's a pretty big mess, but I'll show you some different angles and show you what happened here. Very, very strange stuff. This is probably the most unusual performance I've seen in quite a while. These things did a fantastic job out of the short barrel and absolutely failed from the long barrel, and I have no explanation for it. So we'll look at it from back here and then I'll bring you closer. The first one, that was right there in the front. Really nice, clear picture. That was from the G30. Comes in here, immediate expansion, no question about it. I mean, just blows that cloth right out of the way, doesn't care anything about it. Very, very nice disruption all the way through its path and stops right here. Looks like it's about 1.5 inches from the edge of this first block. So very, very nice penetration and some fantastic looking expansion from that. So then up next comes the 5-inch barrel, which I thought was just going to do a phenomenal job. Down there on the very bottom, as you can see, absolutely nothing. I mean, it comes in here, it's not tumbling at all yet. It could be tumbling right here, could have made a tumble, but who knows? I don't think it did, because usually you got a lot more disruption. I think that's just simply a 45 cal projectile moving through here, but for the most part, just straight line disruption all the way through the block into the second block. You can see it starts curving a little bit, and there's your projectile right there. You got some cloth that did spit out the front of it, completely intact, facing forward, and absolutely no expansion. So then, mind blown, I had to send another one through the Rock Island 5-inch. Now it went above this first one from the G30. There's 2 tracks right here, but the second one was the G30. So this one from the Rock Island 5-inch, again, went in completely clean. None of that right there was even there. So it was a completely clean entrance, no tracks at all where it went through. And it was, again, a straight line all the way through here, through the first block again, into the second block, and did almost exactly the same thing, almost exactly the same penetration, and absolutely zero expansion. So then back to the G30 just to see if that was a fluke on that first one. And again, it went right beside that one from the G17. It didn't start out in the same track, but it was so close, and it actually kind of intersected with it right here. It keeps on going though, and you can see it right here, and it's actually got partial expansion even though it ran in that other track. And I feel very, very sure saying that if it would not have been in that other track, it would be right back here with these other two with very, very nice expansion. And what makes me that confident is, of course, the next round that I took again through the G30. It's right back behind those other ones, completely separated from everything. I'll show you some different angles. Very, very nice disruption and expansion. Throws that cloth right out of the way as it comes into the gel. Disruption all the way through. Hits exactly the same penetration as that first one, and just as much. Very, very nice expansion. So as far as the penetration on it, the ones down here from the G17, you've got one at 23 inches and one is basically 22 7/8. So for all intents and purposes, both of these are 23 inches of penetration with no expansion at all. And then the ones from the G30, the first one is at 14.5 inches. The second one is, again, it's actually 14.25 inches, a little bit shorter, but both of them incredibly nice penetration. And then the other one that even after it intersected and didn't get full expansion, it's out here at 18.25. So all three of those from the G30, absolutely picture perfect performance. And here's your closer look at this wacky situation. The one on the very bottom, again, that's the G17, and the one up above it, that's the first one through the G30. So you can see the difference. I mean, that G30, incredibly nice right as it comes in here, and boom, I mean, very, very nice expansion. Whereas the G17, it keeps on trucking and nothing. And then up above that, that's the other G17 that was by itself before that G30 got into it. And you can see it, that's those two that's real close. But then the G30 that did get into it, we'll follow it. It keeps on going through here, and it still had some partial expansion, even through the G30 intersecting with another track. And then I'll bring you overhead to look at that last G30. It's on the very top. Again, incredibly nice disruption and very, very nice expansion. And again, if you look at all the other ones, those two close together, that was one G17, one G30. But again, we'll check it out as it goes through here. You can see there partial expansion from that one. If we go back over here, again, that's the other one through the G30. So just a wild, wacky situation going on here. All right, let's check out these projectiles, y'all. Just a weird situation again. I'm very surprised at this, and I don't think this is just a fluke, and I don't think this is just chance, because in my opinion, this is verified. You might say this is still not a large enough sample size, and if it was mixed results, I would agree maybe, because, you know, if it was one expanded, two didn't, two did, one did, but this is the same results. Both of them out of the 5-inch did not expand, did not even attempt to, and all three of them out of the G30 did. But whatever the case, I mean, it's plain to see. It's not just a matter of just a little bit of difference. I mean, night and day difference. Nothing on that right there at all. And this one right here, I feel very, very confident saying the only reason this one got just partial expansion is because it intersected with that other wound track, because these other two, I mean, these are beautiful. You got beautiful expansion right here. But let's get a little more data on them. We'll weigh them up. All of them started at 185. These unexpanded from the G17, you got 184.8 on that one and 185.1 on that one. So obviously nothing lost there. The ones from the G30, this one here with the partial expansion is at 184.8. This one here is 183.0. And then this one here is 182.8. So these, I would say you did get a little bit of loss, but not very much at all. And then as far as the sizes, I'll get a base and a length on one of these unexpandeds. You got 450 on the dot with a length of 602. And then I'll get you one of these expanded rounds because they're nearly identical. You got 714 and 718. So some very, very nice expansion from these from the short barrel. And there you have it, y'all. Probably some of the strangest results I've gotten from a 45 ACP test, or any test really. Great performance from the shorter barrel and absolutely terrible performance from the longer barrel. Again, I have no explanation. I really have no idea even. It's got to be, I mean, I guess it's got to be something to do with the different barrels, the different action. I have no idea, honestly. I have no idea. Just a very, very strange situation. That being said, as much as I hate to say it, and as well as these did out of the shorter barrel, I just don't know that I would trust it to do it every time. Even though it did it every time, I just don't know that I would, just because of how weird this situation is. So I don't know about these, but let me know down in the comments what y'all's thoughts are on them and if you would feel okay running these. All right, y'all, I'm gonna call it right there for one wacky 45 ACP test. Again, I really can't tell you what went on with this one right here. It is a shame though, I can tell you that, because with those nice consistent velocities and the super nice performance in the gel from the short barrel, I thought we had another fantastic 45 ACP round. I just don't know. That's why I say, let me know down in the comments what y'all think about this stuff. What do you think might be the cause of the weird performance difference we're seeing between the barrel lengths here? And let me know if, after seeing the performance through this short barrel, if it's something that you would trust in a short barrel 45 ACP. But if you did enjoy the video, make sure you reach down and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you've got those notifications turned on so you get notified when I upload stuff. Take a second and check out those affiliate links I've got in the video description. Lots of good stuff down there, including this ear pro from Axel. If you're in the market for some ear pro, anything you buy after hitting those links up down there, I get a kickback from them towards the channel, so I really do appreciate that. Couple of interesting tests done out here today. I had a third one planned, but there's just way too many tracks in this stuff now to get that one done, so I'll have to reschedule it for another day. Y'all stay on the lookout for some real good stuff, and in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.